Kurt Angle turns down an AEW contract. Plus, a top New Japan star is leaving the company at the end of this month. And more NXT stars are possibly getting a SmackDown call-up tomorrow. It's all in the wrestling news right now. You suck. You suck. Not my words. The words... Actually, can't do that, we'll get demonetized. Kurt Angle flavoured news to get us started today, and Angle revealing that he's had a little offer from AEW that he said not sod off to, because that's mean, but he said no to.
He did. Speaking to What Culture, not familiar
heard of him.
with during WrestleMania, all our love, that's a joke. During WrestleMania weekend, Angle saying that he turned down offers from WWE and AEW, saying, I'm leaving it open, I've gotten offers from both companies, didn't accept them, didn't feel it was right at that particular time, but if they come up with something that I feel is worth it, I will do it. Now, Kurt Angle has been offered various bits by WWE. We know that, a managerial role at one time. There was talk that he was going to be with Riddle as well at one point. The money wasn't there. He's talked about this on his podcast before, that the money wasn't right for him. So who knows what AEW came up with from a creative standpoint. If you were going to put him there, do you see, like, is there somewhere that's a natural fit for Kurt Angle?
I mean, the only thing I think of in terms of how AEW would book them was to make him a manager for somebody, but I feel like there's so much of that now. I'm glad he turned it down, because you look across the landscape of AEW and there's so much going on. Like, you don't need Kurt Angle there. There's already arguably too much happening as it is.
Yeah, I
without
agree.
adding Kurt Angle there to manage another young, manage Wheeler Yuta.
Without adding Kurt Angle to the mix, you might say. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Which isn't to say that I don't miss seeing him on our screens. I wouldn't be surprised if they did something with him and Gable Steveson in the not too distant future.
That'd be fun.
Whether it's a long-term thing or whether it's a short-term thing, obviously the parallels are there, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen.
Could you imagine how over you could potentially, if you really wanted to get behind Gable Steveson or Alpha Academy in general, to maybe have a bit where they bring out Kurt Angle, everyone goes, Angle's going to manage them, and they batter him.
Ooh. Okay, I hadn't even considered that.
But like, you set it up.
I think you use him with Gable Steveson, because fans are already turning on Gable Steveson. And Kurt Angle is a man who's quite, in his current guys, he's quite difficult to boo. He's a wrestling legend, he's a Hall of Famer. So if you put him with Gable Steveson moving forward, then I think you're more likely to get Gable cheered as a result. So I don't think that's bad use.
Do you think that you might potentially run the risk of doing that thing that they did at the Rumble that year when The Rock came out and held up Roman Reigns' arm? And The Rock had that face on him like, oh, blimey.
What's going on? Why, I'm The Rock. Why are you booing me and my cousin?
This is my brother. My cousin, sorry.
Yeah, I guess you run that risk, but I think it's less likely than that particular scenario.
Let's talk New Japan Pro Wrestling. Juice Robinson is away. He announced on Wednesday during Wrestling Observer Live that at the end of his New Japan deal on the 30th of April, he's done. He says, quote, I don't have any plans to travel back over to Japan. I'm at the end of my contract. I did an extra 3-month extension that ends on the 30th of April. So that'll be that. I will not be wrestling under the New Japan banner any longer. I really don't know what's next. I'm just going to hang out and relax for a little while and see what comes to me. I enjoyed the camaraderie and the brotherhood that is New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't really have anybody that I want to wrestle, to be honest. I just don't have the urge to wrestle really anymore.
That's sad, isn't it?
Really sad.
That's sad.
He's engaged to Tony Storm.
Lucky man.
Tony Storm just made about 40 grand on OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Wait, where are you going with this?
Just he can chill a little bit now because
okay.
she's making some coin. So maybe that's part of it.
And I would expect Juice to make a similar amount if he signed up.
I think he'd make a fortune.
So there you go. Future plans for Juice Robinson revealed.
Maybe they both are, and they're just going to make bank.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Seriously, good for them. I mean, it's a shame because I feel like he could have gone a lot further. If this is it, and I actually don't expect it to be it. I imagine he'll crack on with it and find employment elsewhere. That it would be a shame if it was, but I don't think it will.
Juice Robinson turning up in WWE. Do we feel like that could potentially be a thing? If it's somebody like, there's a weird sort of vibe about about guys of that sort of stature going to WWE because like now the mindset's very different and the climate's very different. I kind of feel like if he wanted to just go, there have been overtures in the past for him, like whether he would go there just to go, I just want to say I've done it.
Yeah, on main roster? Yeah.
I don't know whether I think maybe I can see them, and I don't agree with this, but I could see them briefly running him through NXT.
I don't think he needs to. I think he comes back and he does, I put him straight on the main roster. Maybe he doesn't have the sort of, sounds horrible to say, maybe he doesn't have the name value that would catapult him.
No.
In the way that, like, Cody going away, coming back, that's big. Maybe Juice wouldn't have the same sort of deal, but I'd be happy to see him there. I don't want to see him quit anyway.
No. I do hope he sticks around a little longer. Jim Ross on Grilling JR talked about Dark Side of the Ring. He had some comments about a recent episode, and he said, I'm not sure I'll be on any more of them, simply because I had such unfortunate negative afterthoughts of it. Those guys are good guys and they mean well, but I think the edit was a little bit callous and not well thought out, quite frankly. I hope they continue to do those shows, and if they do, I'll continue to watch and we will see. Now, there was some scuttlebutt the other week about them potentially doing a Steve Austin episode.
Yeah, I mean, they tweeted that picture of Austin following his return at WrestleMania, with some fans immediately assuming that they were going to do one on Austin and some of the things that have happened in his life. It could be that maybe he's caught wind and they're doing one on Jerry Lawler or something like that, and he wants to distance himself. I don't know, but I mean, not to talk down Jim Ross here, but surely he sort of knew what he was getting into there. Like, it's ran for 3 seasons now.
Yeah,
it's been going for a while. So my assumption is that maybe he's looking to distance himself for other reasons.
He's caught wind of an episode. The speculation forever, friend. He's caught wind of an episode that maybe he's like, this is me out.
Yeah,
very
perhaps.
Possibly. Speculation forever, friend.
There you go.
EC3 is on Wrestling Daft with Grado tomorrow. They've given us a cheeky little exclusive of that interview. So earlier this week, these are weird sentences to say because 2022 is a wild bingo card. Earlier this week, Buff Bagwell and Braun Strowman had an argument on Twitter. Yeah. Which was I think Buff Bagwell made some comment about control your narrative, it's like toilet paper, or made some sort of, I was controlling my narrative. Sorry, I was on the loo. Lol, 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 lol. And Adam Scherr says, "Oi, you're starting." And Buff comes back at him. And they eventually, you started,
mate.
My dad's bigger than your dad. They end up the Jets end up being cool. But Grado asks him about it on Wrestling Daft, and EC3 loves the idea of inviting Buff Bagwell in to control your narrative, saying, do you have his contact details? I want his details. I want to bring him in, and I want people to see things you never thought you would see, and that match intrigues me.
Yeah.
Bagwell on control your narrative.
Yep.
Cool. You're a little bit quieter than last time.
No. I'll sit here and slag off control your narrative all day. Buff Bagwell in there. It's a payday for Buff. That's all I'm going to say about it. If it happens, then I hope he makes a bit of cash. Good luck to the guy and everything. I probably won't be watching. I might watch a few GIFs.
EC3's on Wrestling Daft tomorrow. Drops at 3:16 on podcast feeds wherever you are. We'll end on a little bit of SmackDown flavoured news. Now, this is a bit speculatory on a few people's parts, mine included.
Okay.
You know how they love changing people's names?
Yes, they do.
Before they move them up to Le Roster Le Main. Mm-hmm. They sneakily changed the name of one of the Legado del Fantasma lads on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I noticed it on comms where they started calling Raul Mendoza Del Toro. And I kind of noticed it, but didn't notice it.
Does that mean the bull?
I think so.
My mate did a documentary called Plaza del Toros, which I think meant the bull ring. So I think that might mean the bull.
Is it about Birmingham? What a shame. But then it was later changed on WWE.com. So Raul Mendoza is now called Del Toro. And I think they're going to be on SmackDown.
Maybe.
I think tomorrow.
I hope that.
If not soon.
I hope we're misunderstanding this, and this is actually a lovely tribute to Derek Trotter, and he comes out as Del Toro.
Or it comes out as if Derek Trotter voted Conservative. Del Toro.
get the rights to that. The pot in the UK. You've got a UK show coming up. We've got some half-price crack Tyson, Mars and Mars, carpet towels, TVs, deep freezer, David Bowie LPs, pool games, James Watson, there's Anna Push, Trevor Francis, tracksuits from Mushin, Shepherd's Bush. We'll do it. We've nailed it.
I like that.
There you go. Maybe we'll see him on SmackDown tomorrow then.
We'll find out, won't we? We'll do more news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. No income tax, no
VAT, no money back, no guarantee. Black or white, rich or broke, we'll cut prices at a stroke. God bless Hookie Street. Viva Hookie Street. Long live Hookie Street. Say magnifique Hookie Street. Magnifique Hookie Street. Hookie Street. Hookie Street. Lovely news. Lovely jubbly you buy. Does that work?
It does now. Lovely chubby, you bye.